books. Good morning, dear viewer. This is the Morning Scoop. I'm happy to be here today and welcome you to join us on the conversation. Today we continue from where we left last week. Mwalimu is here to just take us to the next step. You see, whenever we talk about politics, the Kenyan way, we need a specific understanding of Kenyan politics. And we're going to take this opportunity to just understand a bit of the Kenyan politics and look at a few things like what do we need? Because generally, every time you look at what's happening in the political scene, you wonder whether we are missing something or we are overdoing others. In the Bible, there is a scripture that uses the word small fox. There are a lot of small fox emerging from all corners. So you need a specific wise person to just help you understand a bit of this. Today we're going to go into that. We'll look a bit of Kenyan politics. We'll look at devolution. We'll touch a bit of the IBC, the stories are the commissioners underway. We'll also look in a small, we'll also react to what is happening politically out there. So that is what's going to happen this morning. I'm so glad to be joined by Mwalimu. And where we left with him last week, we'll begin from there. But before we do that, good morning, Mwalimu.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Not bad.
Yes.
Tuko.
Today you're in a tie.
And you are without a necktie.
I thought that I should be without a tie, like the retired guy. But then we've exchanged now. It's good.
Fine.
You see, this life is not balanced. We could.
It's like I wanted to demonstrate I haven't retired yet. I'm not tired. So I wanted to appear like you. Are you Gen Z?
No, I'm much older. I'm the father to the Gen Z.
Older, eh?
I'm the father to the Gen Z.
Father to Gen Z?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Then you are following us.
Yes. Well, let's begin like this. The proverb today is a stitch in time saves nine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we also say in Kibukusu. In Kibukusu we say kumwenyoera sikufubata. So that is, for anything kapene kasibindi.
Mm-hmm.
If we had raised our objections on time, if we had said, no, we would not countenance any, further, oppression, it would have stopped. By the time we did it, it was at the loss of lives. In 1997 to start with, that's when, the leadership would relax and say, okay, what is it you want?
You see, so I want us to look at a few things.
Yes.
Last week, you touched something very important on devolution and the counties. I want us to begin there.
Yes.
Counties, the way they are, draw their being on the 2010 Constitution.
Yes.
It provided for them.
Yes.
as we go past 10 years of the devolution administration, there are things, there are gaps which we have come to terms with.
Yes.
So we need to start discussing them and possibly do a reform of the same, either through a referendum or gentleman's agreement, which is very popular in Kenya. How will you just give us a brief understanding of how devolution has performed for the last 10 years and what do you think are the gaps?
You know, the constitution says there are going to be two governments, the national government and the county government. And they do not say the county government, you know, in a way takes instructions from the national government. So it is not like a district or a province like it was, you know, in the in the past. So it is supposed to be in a way autonomous, a government on its own that is supposed to receive its money from the national treasury. In fact, the constitution clearly says the national treasury will give 85% of the annual revenue to the national government and 15% will be given to the county governments. So these are governments in their own right. And I was saying, last time when we closed, I was saying the county governments, if they are, you know, in a way autonomous, then the citizens or the inhabitants of the county governments should also be free to form parties to compete
at the county level.
For that government. Because they should not be bound to national parties, national political parties that were formed to take power at the national level. We can form ourselves to take power at the county level. And we would have nothing to do with what is happening in the
nationally. But then, I
thought there should be that freedom, that when we are struggling for power at the local level, say in the county of Bungoma, for instance, one does not have to belong to DAP, which is a national party, or Ford Kenya, which is also a national party, or ODM, or UDA, that one, I mean, Pokomo in, and the Giriama in, and the Somali in, and the what in. No. To show that it's a national party. No, it's a Bungoma party.
We can do it as a Bungoma issue.
That is what I thought.
You see, counties like Nzoia, for example.
Yes.
Which are largely cosmopolitan.
Yes.
So that requirement can fit to the Trans Nzoia setting.
Yeah, but even
when you look at Nyanza,
yes,
most of the Nyanza counties, Kisii is largely Kisii, Kisumu is largely Luo.
Yes.
So you are not going to require a Kikuyu or a Rendile
yes,
to appear in the political party that is for the Kisumu county.
Yes, but you would be right to expect a Suba.
Inside that.
Inside that, and maybe a Luya. Because there are Luyas, say, in areas around Maseno, Churaimbo, etc. You know, and there are Luyas also. I think Maragoli is in Migori. Yeah, you would expect that since they are there,
Yes.
when you form your party, it must show that it is inclusive in the sense that even the Maragolis are there. Okay? But you wouldn't be right to say, you know, Turkana should be there. When this party is just for, say, for Migori or for Siaya or whatever.
Because me, I'm trying to look at, for
Yes.
us to achieve that,
Yes.
should it be a gentleman's agreement?
No.
Or it can be, it has to be given strength by a referendum.
No, we have suffered from gentlemen's agreements, because later, you know, people back out and you have no way out. You cannot take them to court. You cannot say they have breached anything. They will deny it. Even for little agreements like MOUs, if you have not registered them with the courts, so that they bind you, people will get away with them.
But you see,
and they have done it.
Even those that are lodged by courts are registered in courts.
Yes.
We can still challenge them because we will say we didn't put a comma here.
Yeah.
Who came later and put this comma here?
That's why we should have it actually in the legislature.
Yes.
I mean in the legislation. We must have it in the legislation.
Wow. So the concerns you've had on the concerning devolution.
Yeah.
Argument. I have a comment here from a viewer who is saying that MCAs don't really seem to understand what they need to do. Is it because they never took time to understand the law, or no one told them what they need to do? What is it that they need? As in, what are the concerns?
I don't think it will be fair to the MCAs to say they do not know. I think they know, because it cannot have taken all this time, and we know they have had conferences, they have had workshops where these things have been discussed. It is that they know, but they are selfish. Because many of our politicians here, as soon as you get them into an elected position, they are thinking of the next election. And they all want to be, re-elected. So people are afraid of being considered as one-term MPs or one-term MCAs. So they are more concerned with what do I do in order to gain more support, so that next time I am re-elected. So why has it, for instance, taken this long for Nyakaango? What do we call her? The one who passes, budget.
Oh, the
budget control.
Yes, it's called what? SRC.
No. Budget. So she has now come up, after more than 10 years, to say no, she's not going to approve any county proposal to fund, to give money to bursaries. Because bursaries are for education. And education is an exclusive function
that is funded
of the national government.
And it's funded on its own.
Yes, it's funded. So when the national treasury gives money to the national government, it gives all the money for education to the national government. Now the county governments take money that is supposed to be for ECD and vocational training. It takes that to education to support the national government function. But what is the purpose? No, it's a populist thing. It's a populist thing. So they want, many people who have problems with school fees will now say, no, these people are good. They have helped me educate that boy. They have helped me educate my daughter. etc., etc. So next time when the elections come, they will vote.
Having something to show.
Yeah, that we are considering.
You are saying.
So what I'm saying is, it cannot be that the MCAs did not know that this was misappropriation of money that had been brought from the national treasury to the county governments. They should have known that. And some of us raised it even with the governors earlier. I remember when I was in the administration of Lusaka 1, I said, but why are we spending money on bursary when bursary is for education which is under the national government? No. You know, over that, people will gloss over. I said, no, but we cannot let our children, you know, they become populist. They say, no, we cannot let, Bungoma will be left behind in education if we don't do that. And they have gone further to say, oh, now we have spent 640 million on scholarship, 300 million on bursary, etc., etc. Even when they knew that there were charitable organizations that were giving scholarships to those who cannot afford, bright children who could not afford education. Equity Bank has been paying that. Family Bank has been doing it. KCB has been doing it. And then we want to compete with them. And yet, the national government also has that aside. And the NGO, I mean the NG CDF is also doing it. So why are we all competing for this particular thing? It is the elections, the next elections.
It is the most visible thing to do because everyone sees it and it has quick returns.
So
in other jurisdictions, Malim, in other jurisdictions, we see not just underprivileged, but even brighter, rich kids.
Yes.
Kids with rich parents.
Yes.
Competing for scholarships.
Yes.
There is a certain mark that is associated and prestige that is associated with scoring the high mark.
It's a reward.
It's a reward.
Yes.
Given a scholarship.
Yes.
Why don't our counties do that? Or as in a thing, you've been a teacher before. You've been in the education sector before.
Yeah.
How to achieve that? What do we need to do?
I mean, there should be something special that you are encouraging. So when you give a scholarship, it's that you want to encourage performance in a particular way. But this was being given for other purposes. How do you give, for instance, 50 scholarships in one school? Oh, you are paying for 50 children in French school, Kamsinga. You are paying for 29 children in Namawanga Girls. You are paying for are these scholarships in the true sense, in the ordinary understanding of scholarships, the way you are saying, because it is not an innovation. It is something that is applied throughout the world, that something is being encouraged. That if you do this, you will draw our attention. We will even say, even if your parent is able to pay for you, we will take over.
Yes.
You know, as a relief to your parent because of your outstanding performance. So we are encouraging others
to achieve a specific.
Yes.
For example, if we took the 600 million for Bungoma.
Yes.
And we said we want to retain these these top students. We want to retain them in the county. But for them to attain this and be retained in the county, to go to the county schools, to enhance performance of education in our county, we are saying that we are giving 200 students, okay, or even 1,000 or 2,000 students to remain within the county, bright ones, and they have to compete for these positions. That whenever you get an A, the county is paying for you, and you're going to Kibabi, Cardinal Otunga. You're not going anywhere else outside the county. Can that serve?
No. For me, that would not even have worked, because what I would have wanted was, since that is going into a function of another government.
Okay.
I would have said no. For me, it is vocational. Okay? Improve the vocational training centers and then tell us. In 2022, for instance, we trained so many masons. In 2023, we trained so many electricians. We trained so many plumbers. Now, so that we are flooded with these fundis.
So we
fundis who know what to do.
From
yes.
high schools
yes.
to vocational schools.
To vocational, so that the county can say, yes, we can quantify and say we have now produced so many graduates of these vocational training centers in this particular, field, in that, and that, so that when we have so many masons, those who want to build have these masons competing,
yes.
And they know their work. We have problems with plumbing. The plumbers are there, easily available. Electricians are there. If you ask them now, ask any county government, ask even this one now, say how many plumbers did you turn out last year? Do they know?
They have no idea. They have no idea that we have a trade like that.
And the MCAs are supposed to have known that. Many of them are now fairly intelligent, very highly educated. So we are not going to say they were ignorant. If anything, they were mischievous. They were mischievous, spending our money to improve their chances of re-election by going into populist areas. Pay school fees for this so that you can be re-elected.
So
now they're going to have a problem. Now they must rethink. And I have already started seeing some rethink. Now they are talking of how many appointments they made in a particular area, how many of a certain tribe they made, how many, of a certain clan. And again, that is going to be bad for this. MCS should know better. That we are not going to have people employed by clan. I mean, make this competitive. This county public service should make it competitive. Let them be independent and let them give us the best candidates for whatever jobs we are advertising. Instead of saying, is this one Mtilu? No, we already have Mtilu in that position, so we will not. So even if Kitui has qualified, but we already have Mtilu. No, you didn't put it in the advertisement that if you are Mtilu, it will be a disadvantage. So that he doesn't.
When you are advertising for these positions,
yes,
there are things you demand.
Yes.
As minimums.
Yes.
From this candidate.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Being Amtilu is not one of them.
Is not one of them. It's not mentioned anywhere, and yet they will go quietly.
Yet it's a very big thing.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is what the MCS should be helping us with. But they're soft on everything. I have seen them go wrong on in many areas, just because they think they should allow it so that they may be re-elected.
Who bears the most responsibility here? National Parliament or the county parliament?
No.
Or the president or the governor? Who bears the most responsibility?
Everyone will bear the responsibility. But those, I like that lady. Because she is the one who has stood up. I remember raising it even when we had a meeting of the CECs and the Senate. Sometime, I think it must have been 95 or 90. No, 2000. I'm talking of 2015 or 2016. I remember raising it when this Mutahi Kagwe was a senator. And I said, why are you allowing, because these county governments are spending money on functions of the national government when they have not been given money by the national government to do it. He said, no. But they cannot just ignore the education of the children in their counties. I said, no, but there is someone responsible. So they have been quiet over that, and it has been unfortunate.
You see, what we see, what we see coming out mostly is the things they do, and mostly the crowd at the things they do. Is that all there is? Because, for example, the president is touring central Kenya.
Yes.
And it is the same old party, the president will go to a place, and the way we see him around, the narratives are the same. We are starting this project, we are launching this project, we're doing this, we're doing that. You see, the same. Even the governor, when the governor goes to a place, it is the same old story. But the report they give us is that we are listening to the people. At what time do they listen to the people? At what time do they carry out what the people want? Do they have mechanism of collecting information, so when the president visits, is responding to the need of the people? When the governor comes to Bungoma town, for example, it's not just coming to the office, it's also coming to respond to the things Bungoma community wants. Or who informs their decisions?
No, one thing you people have not known is that the way these people behave is, for the public. That when a governor is going to have a meeting somewhere, there are people that they send earlier. They call them organizers of the crowd. People are being paid to listen and to cheer. So that, when the governor is making any proposal, those cheering, and there are people who have been brought to cheer, appear to give the public the impression that the people like this.
Acceptance, yeah.
It is now public knowledge that even when the president is touring a place, here in Bungoma, at least this is what we are aware of. Here in Bungoma, people have been paid to come and listen and cheer the president. And that is happening everywhere. So when therefore they come, it is to make the other people who might not be around to see that they are popular.
Even if I didn't go, the crowd is.
Yeah. So he says, but I was there, and you saw it. And nowadays they have ways of making the crowd appear large. So you do not go to open stadiums, because people might say, how big is the crowd? So you go to the streets. Narrow streets. People come. And the cameramen, it's sometimes like they are bribed also or something. The cameramen are showing you,
Let me help you. We are never bribed.
Whatever it is, but you take sides also.
We bring it as is.
So sometimes you look at it and say, no, why are we not honest? Because it is not that they are not told the truth. The NSIS, I think, does give them the information. The ground does not appear good here. The NSIS is now worried, isn't it? And then they think they must now even step in and warn. Instead of leaving it to the administration, you advise them, the ground is not too good. People are unhappy. So people are protesting. People are saying so and so must go. Okay? This is a demonstration of the experience that they are, suffering. So someone is now saying, stop that. No, it should be the administration saying, if people are unhappy, what is it they want? This is the mistake we made. In 2023, the first budget, people say, hey, are we going to manage this? Are we going to bear this heavy taxation? And the people ignored it. Instead of listening, they ignored it. So 2024, they were now coming with something even harsher, much more oppressive. Until the Gen Z said, no, enough is enough. No, we are not going to bear this. So they get up. You see, now that is called an explosion. It becomes now more difficult to manage because you didn't listen at first. If you had listened at first, maybe you would have done something. Maybe you would have engaged people into more conversation to say, what else do we do? And then tax little by little. You don't just come to they made a little noise last year. We know when we make this one, they will also make a little noise. No, people are getting impatient, so they will say, apparently, this burden is too heavy. They throw it off. Look at the repercussions. And now again, they are going around to pretend that things are not too bad. Just listen to us. We have succeeded. No, we are the consumers of your services. We are expressing dissatisfaction. Still listen to us. Don't begin saying, oh, no, you are just making a little noise. People generally are at prices are lower now. Lower?
Of course they are lower.
But are we able? Because they appear lower, but mapato yetu sasa ni duni. You know, what we have in the hand now is smaller. You get this, they tax it. You get that, they tax it. There are even people pulling out of businesses. Magendo is now going to increase.
Because
now people are going.
That is safe. Right?
Yeah, and people are now going to keep money in their pillows and in their mattresses.
That kind of dishonesty, you see, it's now become normal.
Yeah.
The dishonesty culture is normalized.
Yeah.
But then it also has a psychological effect.
Correct.
So to what extent?
Repeat.
Dishonesty is normalized.
Yes.
We are normal. When you are dishonest,
yes,
you are fashionable.
Yes.
The way the government is dishonest about the situation.
Yes.
Or maybe it's honest.
Yes.
It knows that this is, but then it's trying to pervert.
Yes.
It chooses the perversion way.
Yes.
That has a psychological effect.
Oh yes.
On the masses generally.
Yes.
But to what extent? That's what I'm trying to understand.
No. I mean, we will go on, everyone denying what is real. Everyone denying what there is, what we have seen to be. What kind of culture is that now?
I don't think they are denying. I think they're just choosing not to follow it. It's there, we know.
No.
The one is perversion.
Yeah, the thing is, they're saying, no, we are exaggerating. It's not that. And we say, no, we are the ones feeling it. It is what we are saying. So, you know, there is no agreement. In the end.
Then you see the trust issues. The trust issues now escalate. Even in the villages.
Yes.
In a community, our own communities, trust issues start becoming.
That is it. If we know how to get away with something, and you know, getting away with something is temporary. That if you can do this, you know, put it this way, like they have done. People are unhappy about the oppressive taxation proposed. Okay, then they say, okay, we're not going to do it. But then they're not changing anything, because again, what is coming, I understand, is even worse. So what do? They think, oh no, let us have a broad-based government. A broad-based government, if it is a temporary solution, must not blind you from following what the people are saying. So you don't form a broad-based government instead of listening to the people. So listen to the people, do what they want. That is what will save this situation.
You see, the problem is there. Instead of sorting the issue, you form a broad-based government.
Temporary relief. That is little relief.
But the problem is still there.
And the problem is there. The people are still suffering. Now you want more people to say no, but the government is not quite wrong. I heard recently, even those who had been saying, no, this is too much. Like you remember Musalia some time back said, no, you cannot go on taxing people. This is too much. You know? Now he's saying, let us not deceive ourselves. Government must tax. Who said they cannot tax? No, government must tax, yes. But we are saying, how much should they tax us?
He's saying that the government has to make difficult decisions now for the country to grow in a certain way.
Yeah?
So he's right.
No, he's justifying. He's justifying what is there. That why should it be now? Why should it be this particular generation to bear all the problems of the future? That things are going to be better for other generations coming, but we should bear. Why? Why should be the ones to?
We are the parents.
Hey, you know, tax small by small. Pole pole, kidogo kidogo. Say, if someone says, that is painful, relax.
Can it be safely assumed that it's the oversight issue, that we don't have oversight systems?
That is the problem, because those who are supposed to oversight, for personal reasons, when they are called either to the State House or to the governor's residence, or wherever, if they are then compromised, you know, they have become lobbyists. You know, our representatives have become lobbyists instead of watetezi wa wananchi. So a lobbyist is asking for compromises. What I want is this, but you know, if you give me this, I will relax this. So now they are called, they are given something, but when this thing comes to Parliament, please pass it.
So you are saying, by the way, who decided that a governor should host people in his home, official duties?
No, when it is silent, when it is silent, when there is no law penalizing that, when there is no law prohibiting that, you know, it's allowed. After all, when is he governor and when is he not? Even in his home, yes, he is governor.
Yes.
Okay? So if you meet him there, he's still county business. What is important is what comes from it. It's not so much the venue.
I may have a problem with that.
Yes.
You see, this governor here is a human being who has a family.
Yes, correct.
He needs his own private time.
Correct.
So if we officialize the residence, we bring the office home, at what point will he be able to have quality time with his family?
No one has officialized it. No, it's the governors themselves who invite people over. So you cannot say we are interfering with their privacy. Because it is not the law forcing it on them. Apana, they're the ones who invite. And it is better. People get softer when they are invited to homes. Oh, come over. Hey, mama, come and greet this, you know. So the first lady comes, greets you around. Oh, most welcome. You say, okay, fine. Sasa chai inakuja. Najua hii ni chai ya mama. So you cannot be too hard on her husband. Amekupigia chai. And the governor himself might already have known there are certain envelopes. Msiende ngoja kidogo. People now wait.
So oversight is
oversight inaenda.
Is dead.
No, I mean, we know that when governors in a number of places have faced difficulties, governors have come up with ways to, you know, to make these people, you know, give in their oversight role. I remember one time we visited some governor, and we were saying, how do you get away with this, you know, threats of impeachment? This it's easy. Pick out those who are very difficult. Then you plan some trip for them. Like this particular one, I won't mention his name, planned a trip to South Africa. So an MCA that had not been out of the country before is asked, do you have a passport? He says, no, I don't. The governor is taking you to South Africa. Then how shall I? No, bring your birth certificate. Do you have your birth certificate? Yes, I have. Bring it. The governor will help you get a passport. Anapata passport. Munaenda na governor South Africa. Number of you. So now you know it's at his place.
Particularly what you don't know.
No, you just
no one cares. Per diem is good.
Many of these people, it's per diem that counts. And they're giving you before you leave, so that you leave some with your family. So wajue wewe mtu mkubwa unaenda na governor. So he says when we came back, there was no more noise. Nothing about impeaching, you know, the governor. And there are many who have been in the president's entourage to places like New York, like what? I mean, he has no particular role. Just you went, like the Bukusu say, it's your man who is in power. So you've just gone, now you are sleeping in a 5-star hotel, but all that is paid by the government. But you yourself have per diem again given to you. You are looking forward to another chance to go out. So your oversight role
is dead.
Kwisha.
I can't let you go without mentioning two things. One, commissioners are undergoing the interviews. You poured enough color on it last time. Right?
Yes.
Just give us a comment on that. What do you think the next commission, what do you think it's going to be like?
I told you, I do not think that we are changing anything that will assure us that the next results that will be announced will be credible results, that will be results that everyone will say yes, they have said it, so that is what it is.
You see, you added a statement last time when you said acceptable.
Yes. They should be acceptable, but acceptable when we trust that they must be saying the truth. But you listened to the interviews. What had they to do with integrity? Nothing. And yet it's all going to be a question of, I told you, human beings must be watched over. We must watch them. And, these ones who are interviewed and they are selected. And remember, even that selection might not be honest. These are meant to give us the impression people have had interviews. Those who are not selected
will not say
are assumed to have failed the interviews.
I was given a chance, I didn't perform.
Yes, and yet we know that down under the table there are those who are saying, no, from that area get us such and such, from that area get us such and such.
The same thing you talked about clans on the county level.
Yes. So one time I was a candidate, for this IEB, it was IEC. I was one of the, was it 49 candidates that were interviewed out of 2,000 and something. Interviewed by an independent, selected, shortlisted by an independent group. Then a committee of parliament was to interview us. So we go there, interviews are taken, are undertaken. No difficult question. I've answered everything well, and those who have interviewed me are those I have been with. I left knowing I must be one of them. And you know, the interviews, the results were to be that same evening. So at 9 p.m., I'm listening now. On the TV. They read, were they 9? I am not there. So I asked, I picked a phone and called one of those who were on the interviewing board. I said, Mheshimiwa, what happened? I thought I did very well in that interview. He said, no, did you think that was an interview? And I check. And I said, no, you know, at the end of interviewing the candidates in a particular province, the chairman would then ask those representatives on the interviewing panel from the province to say, okay, these 9 are from your province. We do not know who they are. So can you propose to us who, since you are from the province, you know them better. Who says an MP from the province knows everyone in the province? Okay? So then this MP says, I want so and so. And then another says, I want so and so. And then it was a question of horse trading. I voted for you in that one, or I will vote for you in the next. I will vote for your candidate, so you vote for this one also. So that is how it was. So kumbe, it was an interview merely to show people that there were interviews held. But the selection process,
it had already been done.
It is done everywhere. See, I told you that they will have those interviews, then they say, but there is already a Mtiru. So Kitui does not qualify.
Not.
So there are those considerations. I'm sure even for chairman, even last time, I understand Chebukati, when they drew the pass mark, Chebukati was above the pass mark, just above. But he was the lowest in the group that had passed. But he was the one who was selected.
Actually, they turned the upside down.
So they must have had another consideration, which had not been put in the advertisement, which those coming to attend the interview did not know of.
Including Chebukati himself.
Including Chebukati himself, but he became a beneficiary. Because they were considering other things. A certain group that is not in the panel, a certain group is the one deciding, no, pick this one. So, even here, even for those chairmen, let's see.
The one who will get is not the one who will score.
If they wanted to be transparent, then the panel should tell us this is the score. That when we interviewed them for chairman, this one was that. Let us have that also. Then let us see who chooses. Why is the top one not selected?
But that's what happens, because even when they select somebody, they will take the top 3 names and take them to the president.
Yeah, but then another consideration therefore is going to be put into place, which the participants in the interview did not know of. Because what consideration is the president going to take? And that is when they choose their own people. So let us see.
Wow. One final question. you are leaving us in a state of hopelessness. We don't have we don't have any hope that no matter what we do, no matter how we do it, our fate is already decided as a community. No matter how much noise we make, those who decide, the deciders have already decided how we are going to behave, how much taxes we're going to pay, how our country will be. Yet, we are here asking for a fair representation, a fair approach to life, a fair management of systems in our country. So, if those who decide, the deciders who decide decisions that Kenyans are supposed to do or to be are elsewhere, how are we going to have a say in our affairs as a nation?
This is a problem we have always had. Those in leadership are underestimating the capacity of the citizens to react. Those thinking that because they are in leadership, what they are saying must be right and must be followed. Moi made that mistake. Even when he knew that people were agitating for a new constitution, in January 1996, addressing the nation, he said, this year we are going to have constitutional conference to decide our way forward. We waited for the whole year. Nothing happened. And so for him it was all right. 97, we said, no. We have given them the opportunity. These people are not going to react. So we must do it ourselves. So we undertook, from April, from our meeting in Limuru, we said, okay, now we are going to have meetings without Moi's, police permits. Now we are going to have to do this now. That is how we started going to Kamkunjis and what. And then Moi, kawaida, their usual reaction is send police, piga watu. Tulichapwa, but it didn't help. So until Sabasaba, 97, there were so many deaths. 14, until everyone started asking Moi, what is this now? What are you doing? These are your people. They're merely asking you, listen to them. So that is how we came to agree, let's have IPPG, No, again, it's happening. We are ignoring the people, but we are underestimating their capacity to react.
The frustration is at the FIFA peak.
So, people will react.
When people there is...
You see, over here, we have taken it for granted. We are the ones who are there. Please, we need your support. Until we have waited, until people come up, like Natembe.
But then
he comes up and he says, no, enough. I mean, how long are we going to wait? Why are things getting worse instead of better? Okay.
Is this promise real or it's a play? That's what he's actually asking.
What?
He's asking, is this a promise or it's a play?
Yeah, it's just a play. Those in leadership thinking, no, they can always get away with it.
But then the normal way of us reacting, we are saying that has been said by some mysterious fellow.
That is where we are wrong. When we started, we had powerful politicians here like Elijah Mwangale, elected first in 1969. So then re-elected 1974. 74. Then again 1979. So then, what became of him? He started assuming, people may make noise, but when the time comes, they know where they will be. 1988, in the elections, this was a Mlolongo. see, he was elected. Was it 88 or yeah, 88? Yeah, he was elected unopposed. So he didn't go to the. We didn't go to the ballot for him because they say he got 70%. 70% of the vote, more than 70% of the vote. So in 1992, what had happened? You know, he now was in a slumberland, thinking, things are all right. These boys like Mukhis are just making noise, but
on the ground people are saying even a dog, if a dog stood against Mangale, we'll give to the dog.
Yes, but you know, it had even come to the realization of a mad woman who used to come from Kimilili to Bungoma, and she would start shouting in a marketplace, Mangale, 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 and he didn't even listen to the mad woman. So people, you know, should not be underestimated. They can react very badly. So 92 came, and he tried all he could. No. All the violence against Mukhisa, no, it didn't work. Mukhisa had not been known before. He was just a small boy. But the people were now ready for that. Here we have been waiting and waiting, and these people are telling us, and each time they postpone when they will offer themselves. They say, oh, no. Those who are saying, oh, they would stand in 2013, 2017, 2000. Now they are saying they will stand to 2032.
So until Natembe, so Natembe's voice is the voice of the frustrated.
Correct. He is the one connecting with the people. He's not saying anything that any honest Luya will say, no, that is a lie. He's saying the truth. That is what the people feel. That is what the people experience. So he is their honest spokesman.
Now,
and everywhere in Luya land now, we were there recently, even when we were at the ODM, you know, was it 20th anniversary? In Bugiri, Funyula. See, people would still ask us, oh, where is Natembe? Where is Natembe? He's the one speaking now for the Luya. Now they want to say, no, this man is being used. Used by who? You think Luyas cannot express themselves? You think they do not feel how you people have been lying to them? They don't see? They're now fed up.
So the frustration has spread over the nation, and the nation it has no choice but erupt. So if the status quo is maintained, we are going to have a repeat of the Gen Z 2024 this year.
Yes, they have abused what we call public participation. Public participation was a proposal, and it was enacted, that the leadership must always be in communication with the public. But now these ones begin manipulating such processes. Instead of listening to the people, they want to appoint those that they will pretend to be listening to. Those that have been oiled to go and, yes, Mutuku rise, yes. So they say, well, the people want it. No, that is not public participation. Be honest about it. Listen to what NSIS is telling you. And NSIS, please stop going public to warn people. It is not your responsibility to warn people. It is your responsibility to seek the intelligence and pass it over to the administration.
You see, we've eaten into someone else's time. Sorry about that. I'm sure my director is itching his head. He's a very young, handsome guy. God bless you, Kevin. We'll keep on coming back here on Tuesday every other week to talk about these things. Thank you so much. Keep this conversation going on Facebook, West TV _Kenya, on X. This show is always live on X, West TV _Kenya, at Mr. Kitui. You can also find me on TikTok, or CKS. And please, when you are there, like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'll be excited to respond to your messages personally. On my X, at Mr. Kitui, I'll be very excited. On behalf of the director of the show, Kevin Kibet, my name is CKS. Bye-bye. See you next week on Tuesday.